Stress and pain have a physiological relationship. In my opinion, knowledge is power, and understanding how stress might be affecting your pain might be the first step in doing something about it. When we have a threat or potential threat to our tissues, the receptors in that area start to send a message through the nerves up the spinal cord into the brain. The brain talks to itself and it decides, do we need to output pain or not in order to keep this body safe? If you're wanting a little bit more on pain mechanisms, go back and watch my most recent video on that. As that message is in the spinal cord, it has the opportunity to get either dampened or strengthened before it heads up to the brain. The strength of that message, once it gets to the brain, can have an impact on the eventual output of pain from your brain. One of the things that controls the strength of that message within the spinal cord is the hormone adrenaline. Adrenaline spikes when we're in a stressful situation. Let's say you're in a short-term stressful situation. Classic example, you're running away from some terrifying animal and you step on a nail. You don't have time to worry about that nail in your foot. You have something really scary chasing you. So that message in the spinal cord on the way up to that brain, that threat message, will get dampened by that temporary increase in adrenaline. That will weaken it by the time it gets up to your brain and decrease the eventual pain output. On the flip side, if you have chronically elevated levels of stress hormones, of adrenaline in your body, the opposite will happen. When that message is going through the spinal cord, it's like it gets put through a megaphone. Then by the time it reaches the brain, it's a lot louder. Again, the brain acts in accordance and it might output a louder pain alarm, more pain, in order to keep you safe. Your other main stress hormone, cortisol, also has an effect here. When you have short bursts of cortisol, again, in an acutely stressful situation, it acts as an anti-inflammatory, hence the use of corticosteroid injections. However, when it is chronically elevated in the system, it loses that anti-inflammatory effect and can actually have a pro-inflammatory effect instead. Here's what I don't want to happen after you watch this video. I don't want you to be stressed about your stress. We know that what makes stress dangerous is more so that your relationship with your stress. If you see stress as a negative thing versus a positive thing, it's going to have a greater impact on your health. And here's what I do want you to take away from this video. The first step is just pay attention. Do you notice when you're feeling more stressed that your pain seems to be a little more elevated? Or do you notice when you're feeling nice and relaxed that it seems to be more in the background or even gone completely? If there seems to be a strong relationship, it might be worth taking next steps to figure out how to find a more balanced nervous system. Of course, I have a bias here. Mindfulness has worked for me and it's worked for a lot of my patients. And it's such a wonderful framework to change your perspective with the challenges of life, taking away their threat value and leaving you feeling a little bit more at ease as you navigate this world.